Welcome back to GSL Up and Downs. DRG is not out of this yet, but he definitely saved himself, at least for a little bit longer in that last match.
He has to win his last game against Maro if he wants to have a chance. If he loses tomorrow, then he is out as well. So he's really hoping for a bit of a tiebreaker here. Leenock leading the group, and he is in a great position now. He is playing his next map against Bunny, and the only thing that Leenock has to do here is win one more game today. If he gets a third win with the current scores that we have in this group, he will also be in quarters.
Yep, definitely so. The map that the next game takes place on is Star Station, so very large map, and I'm curious to see how Bunny will fare against a different Zerg player with a different type of map, because the last map we saw them at close spawns, and Bunny just continued to be aggressive over and over again with his Widow Mines and his Marines. But on this map, you know, things will probably be a little bit different.
Yeah, Leenock is definitely a different animal than a DRG, and Bunny, I feel like this game is going to be much tougher on him than the match against Dongregru earlier, where he was able to succeed. Leenock has proven himself today in the Terran vs Zerg already against Maru. Even though Maru got a bit ahead of him in the early game, but Leenock's transition that gave him the lead in the match, and then he ran with it, capitalized on it, and took this game. So if he wins now, he will be 3-0 in the group and advance to Korea for sure. Star Station is the map. Bunny, on the other hand, he is 1-1 in the group now.
Yeah, this one is much, you know, more... if he loses it, it's much more important than if Leenock loses his, for example.
Bunny, he lost against Ruin, and he won against DRG. Can he win against Leenock? We're jumping into the game now on Star Station here at the GSL Up and Downs with Colin Wolf. Starting to the bottom left, we're not quite sure if he works for Energizer or for Duracell. Both have won. He is the CJ Entus.
CJ Entus Bunny.
Yeah.
No, actually, if I would say like he's the CJ Entus Bunny, it sounds a little bit like he's the mascot.
Yeah, exactly. So up against the Octopus Zerg, he is also known as
FXO Leenock.
The battle of the species.
Yeah. A lot of people are tweeting at me about that. And that there's no way a bunny could beat an octopus.
Oh, bunnies are vicious.
They are quick. Have you seen Monty Python, the Holy Grail?
Yeah, of course.
You know the bunny?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Bunnies in general, man, they are scary. You should always be careful of bunnies. They look cute, and that's how they lure you in. And as soon as you get close, they turn into these flesh-eating monsters, and they will rip you apart.
That's true. They're very quick as well. There's an old man who is at the subway station, Gangnam Station. He's always selling baby bunnies every day. You've probably seen him before.
Yeah, I've seen him.
He's around.
Just a second here. We do still have all starting positions on the GSL version of Star Station, right?
As far as I know.
Because Leenock scouted bottom left. And I'm really wondering if that is because he assumes that this is the same starting positions as we have on ladder, because Blizzard changed the map a little bit, so now you can only spawn cross. Or if he just gambled there and was like, okay, I'm gonna scout cross first, because I have my Overlord moving to the bottom right, and if I don't scout cross, I go top left. I would really like to know that, if that was just him scouting cross because he thought, okay, well, I'm gonna scout there with my scouting pattern and the Overlord, that's gonna give me the best coverage, or if he assumed that it's forced positions.
Yeah, I would be interested to know as well.
As it is, he sees that he's now facing a command center first, and this time we have him with hatch into gas into pool, and this is where it gets interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do with that. Cross spawns make it much harder to hit a roach timing like we saw on the smaller map Akalon. You know, the map Akalon is a map where it's really tough for Zerg players in the mid and late game if you don't get an early lead, so that may be why one of the reasons why Leenock decided to go for that roach pressure on that map against Maru.
I feel against Maru he really did it because he realized he was so far behind. He had to do something, catching up against a Terran player that plays this greedy. That wouldn't have been an option. But now, this is going to be aggression. He has to be aggressive with this. Getting the speed this early, or at least the gas this early.
You know, he's actually...
It's funny how he blocks those SCVs out.
They have to be trapped on the outside because if he lowers depot, the drone gets out. Maybe he could have tried to kill the drone on its way out, but Leenock is just doing a lot with his drone, not only in this game, but in the previous game against Maru. He's just a dangerous drone. Look at that.
Bunny has scouted top right. Now he knows that there was gas. He knows that the 100 was mined. And now the question is, what is he going to do? How greedy is he going to play this? Will he be defensive against what Leenock is currently doing? Leenock is in a really interesting spot now. With the early gas, he can be aggressive, or he can just drone up behind this. But he saw the command center first, and a lot of players will then go into the double hatch before the pool. Or at least play this greedy. The early gas is usually only if you want to at least save the option to be aggressive.
Yeah.
And he's mining from his extractor still with one drone.
You know, Bunny saw the pool pulsating, the little ripple there with this SV as well, because the queen wasn't ready. The pool, I mean, speed was started before the queen had popped out, so he knows at the very least speed was started, so it's not going to be some sort of crazy roach aggression, but he still starts bunker, just to be safe.
Yeah, and the third CC is now also coming his way.
Yeah, so he's not playing this as greedy as Maru. Does not go for crazy eBay timings or anything like that. We'll start them probably after he gets about 4 Hellions out or so.
There's the third base now for Leenock. He could actually go for exactly the same build that he used earlier against, well, not the same build, but the same attack that he used against Maru.
Yeah.
With the third base and then going into the roaches, it would actually work out for him quite well here.
Yeah, you know, it is cross spawns, but that sort of surprise can really, you know, win you games, catch people off guard. And Bunny is probably not expecting to see the same build 2 times in a row, because he watched that game.
Yeah, he definitely checked it out. Leenock is getting the additional gas now.
And it starts an evolution chamber, so it looks like we're not going to see that attack.
Yeah, going into the upgrades here instead. There is a timing on 3 bases with roaches that you can use, where you go for +1/+1. That's one thing that he could use here. He's getting extra queens right now, and you don't really saturate your third if you want to go for this. But he doesn't start his lair tech, and usually you start the lair tech a little bit faster than this. We're already at 730. So here comes the armor upgrade, and probably going to be the melee upgrade and not range.
Yeah.
Yes, that is.
There it is. And Hellions try and do what they can. Oh, he actually misses that tumor. If he had targeted a little bit better, he might have been able to knock it down, but...
Did you see how Leenock repositioned his queen to make sure that the tumor doesn't go down?
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was really cute. Ah, but it dies after all. The queen walks back and then the Hellion dart in for another shot.
He could have also just attacked one of his own Hellions to kill it, I suppose.
Yeah. I think he's trying to run past and maybe do a bit of damage and sneak in there. Nice, has the queens immediately at the front, but he needs to be careful. They're both with low health.
Yeah, Bunny is getting a lot done here.
There comes an extra queen, so now he can shift around with them.
He's still doing a decent amount of damage here. Leenock has to be careful.
Yeah, that's what he does. He's going into the Roach Warren now just to be safe. And the extra Zerglings too. So good job by Bunny to force out additional Zerglings here. Needs to be careful with the Hellions now, losing 1, 2, doing a bit of damage. But
Great
so
surround.
far, great job. Creep spread is not that great for Leenock just yet. He couldn't mine a lot from his third base either. But with the Roach Warren, things are going to change a little bit.
Yeah, the Roach Warren is going to make his Hellions very sad. Look at the power-up for Bunny here. He's adding 4 barracks right now. He's got his stim finished up. He's going to have stim, 1-1, and combat shields all around the same time with a few Widow Mines out. And until that time, he's going to just hang around this command a little bit, but he'll have a few medevacs. So then he's going to move out, you know, to use some stims and scans, try to pick up his units that get trapped by the Lings, and just keep pushing that creep back.
Baneling Nest coming in, has the Roaches now, upgrades for both players. Lair Tech, of course, reached there for the speed upgrade for the Roaches too, not only, and we will see it for the Banelings as well. Leenock on 3 bases, same is true for Bunny. Bunny has been in a really good position here, going into double upgrades, not missing the timing for the Armory here, has the, once again, the Widow Mines to be safe. And most Terran players will still go for the Widow Mines instead of Siege Tanks. We have a few of them just trying to make the Siege Tanks work again, but Widow Mines just give you the extra edge. It's the mobility that the Terran player has. If you compare Terran in Heart of the Swarm to Terran in Wings of Liberty, the big thing that really matters is the mobility. With the Afterburners, with the Widow Mines instead of the tanks, a Terran army is just so much faster these days. Can really keep up with the Zerg.
Exactly. Just all about how you use that booster. 2-2 will be possible for Bunny to start immediately since his armory finishes. And, you know, Leenock doing a little bit of pressure here. He's already got his 2-2 on the way. He kills that refinery outright.
But still, I really like how Bunny is playing this. So far, he has everything that he needs. He has the scouting going on with his scans. He has the Viking on the map to take down Overlords. They already have speed, but still, it's a really good position for Bunny. Bunny has a very good economy going for him, and he has good upgrades.
Yeah, I like that he goes in the medevacs before 2-2. He had the resource to go 2-2, but got the medevacs first because he wants to have those medevacs out as soon as possible so he can start to push that creep back.
He's even getting siege tanks now, in addition to the Widow Mines that he already has. And Marauders too. He knows that there were a lot of Roaches already.
Yeah, you know, against Roaches, sometimes Widow Mines alone are just not going to cut it, depending on how many there are.
If you have a siege tank and a few Marauders in the mix, that is going to help you so much.
He's getting burrow movement for his Roaches. That's not something I expected to see. You know, you hardly ever see this upgrade in this matchup just simply because it's not too useful. You can use it for kind of little burrow sneak buys, but...
Regeneration is a little bit faster with it. That might be one of the things that he's trying to go for.
Yeah. The drop to the right side is not Sparta, as far as I can tell. He's not using it either, though.
Nice setup here. Nice defensive setup now for Bunny. He needs to get his forces back to man those bunkers.
Yep. Jumps in. A few Widow Mines are ready, and the siege tank should be able to come over here in just a few moments.
Widow Mines getting their shots, and Leenock is not going to bust through this, and he has to defend against the drop in the main base.
That drop in the main base is starting to do some decent damage.
Oh, here come the Banelings, and they change everything. The second siege check on the high ground is not siege up, Wolf.
Yep. Now he sieges it up.
Oh, a great shot against the Banelings.
Yeah, this is a poor attempt. He expected no siege tanks, I feel. Now he's losing way too much in the main base.
That was a great defense by Bunny. That was amazing.
Yeah. Leenock a bit too gung-ho. Now getting some good trades against the pure Marine Force.
But he's baiting him into the tank range again. And
yeah,
Leenock
get back.
is just losing too much here. He was going for a massive attack, for a huge timing here with Banelings and also Roaches, but Bunny was ready. Double tank, a lot of mines and the bunkers.
You know what's strange is we don't have any armor upgrade for Bunny, though. He doesn't start at +2 armor at all. He only got the attack.
I think he forgot it. I think he probably didn't have the resources, selected his double engineering bay, clicked the 2 upgrades, and then the armor upgrade didn't move in, and he doesn't expect it to be ready, so he thinks it's researching as we speak.
Yeah. This is, you know, that upgrade we see very rarely, but I think Bunny has a sense of this. Well, maybe perhaps not. You can see a tiny ripple as a Terran player.
Yeah.
This could be one of the things that might get Leenock back in this game. He has to do critical damage with this, though.
Leenock is going Hydras. He's going a Roach Hydra against this. Not Mutalisks to follow this up. This is so interesting. Roach Hydra is something that we rarely see against this. A lot of Zergs have been experimenting with it, but it's so difficult against a Terran player who has good drop play.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult. Also against somebody who already has siege tanks on the map, and 3 of them at that.
Well, it can work, but the thing really is that drops are going to give you a hard time because you don't have the Mutalisks out there. Losing the pool is going to be an issue, but with the composition that he's going for, it's not this big of a deal as if you would rely on Link Buna Baneling.
Yeah, Leenock loses the hatchery without a cancel, but during all of this, he's still doing damage with these sneaky Roaches. You know, it very rarely works out this way, but Leenock actually was able to get those Roaches into the main base even.
Roaches in the main base, Roaches at the natural and at the third. He's doing a lot of damage with this, but he's still behind in supply, and the Terran army is now moving on to creep, but the Hydralisks for now have enough DPS to deal with this. But the problem is mobility, and the Terran player has so much more dropping into the main now with everything that he has.
And don't forget the upgrades are going to be much, much, much worse for Leenock's Hydra army. He's just now starting +1. He's up against nearly a 2-2 Terran Bioforce. That lair is dead.
He can't kiss his leg goodbye.
Yeah, and then the medevacs are just going to escape if he doesn't get the Hydra's position perfectly.
Yeah, and even if he does, they're just too fast with the afterburners, and he can now drop once again at the low ground if he wants to.
Yeah, and I think he probably will. Or he'll just wait at the top right and snipe the hatchery again.
Leenock is in a bad spot. He killed a lot of harvesters, granted, but the worker supply is still decent for Bunny. He's currently at 52 and he has the extra mules. He has mainly siege tanks now against the Roach and Hydra composition that we see for Leenock.
And his upgrades, again, are just so much better. And Leenock's not going to be able to start +2 until his lair is redone.
But those Roaches are really annoying. I mean, Leenock is doing as much as he can with them, taking down harvesters and just shifting the attention of Bunny always towards the third base.
Goes for the Hydras here. The medevac's targeted down immediately. That was really smartly done by Leenock.
Yeah, really good snipe. And this actually might change things again. Leenock still has a good bank.
Yeah.
The problem really is that he lost his lair and he's now getting those additional hatcheries because he needs production. That's what the big issue was with the losing lair.
Yeah, he also needs the 4th base. And here comes, you know, another good attack by Bunny. He's just got too many upgrades.
So much. And also those siege tanks at the back, they do so much damage. And he doesn't have a flank. If you're up against this army composition, you need to have a flank setup, but those siege tanks not in siege mode, and that might give him the time that he needs.
Yeah, the Roach is just trying to come in here, and there's a great concave for Leenock's units. He's going to break through.
He needs to get those tanks. I'm not quite sure if he really has enough, Wolf. It's going to be so close. The more the 2 siege tanks at the back.
He gets the tanks, but he loses so much to do it.
The reinforcement, does he really have what it takes to take down this army? I feel the momentum is going to shift in a second towards Bunny even more than it already has.
He just doesn't have the production. He lost too much larva. He lost the hatcheries.
The next wave of units is just going to take Leenock apart here. Leenock trying to hit this massive timing with Roach Baneling. Bunny with a very good defense against it. And Leenock is really trying to hold on to this game, but with the composition that he has, Bunny is doing exactly what you have to do to counter it. He's relying on mobility, he's relying on the afterburners with the Medivacs, and this is going to, should win him the game eventually.
Yeah, Leenock has the 4th base secured. That's something, though, that Bunny has not been able to do. He's still on 3 bases, and Leenock, he is getting the Hydralisk speed now, and he eliminated those siege tanks, so it makes his Hydras a little bit stronger in a straight-up fight, but like you said, the mobility still becomes a problem.
And we have the +3 attack upgrade now about to be completed. This massive army for Bunny, that's just a really big issue. And once again, also a drop heading towards Leenock's bases. So all the momentum is going for Bunny right now.
Yeah. I mean, he's 50 supply up.
Yeah, there's a huge supply lead, and also, of course, the upgrades that work in his favor. He doesn't have a 4th base, on the other hand. Leenock has the hatch, he's not really mining there, but can he really hold on to this? I don't think so. He doesn't have the flanks that you need against siege tanks.
Yeah, I mean, you can see his army here is just not quite strong enough. And Bunny is teasing him a little bit here with his movements. GG.
GG, this is game. Bunny saving his chances to advance, and Leenock not in Codes just yet. Actually, Bunny and Leenock are now tied in the score, 2-1.
2-1 apiece, and that was a rough game for Leenock. He took all the early losses. That one attack where he tried to send his roaches into the 3rd base really pushed things way into Bunny's favor, because with those siege tanks on high ground that Leenock just did not expect, he lost his entire army practically.
Yeah.
Then no mobility for the drops, no mutas, and not enough Hydras and Roaches to just split them between his bases.
That's the big issue with if you go against a Terran play and you rely on Roach Hydra mobility. Dropships are very difficult to deal with. And if you go for this, and one thing that we didn't see Leenock do is you need some static defense in your bases. Oh. You want to rely on spore crawlers and you want to have a few spine crawlers. Leenock didn't have that. So the only thing that Bunny has to do was just bounce between the bases, trying to use the high and low ground to his advantage, because the Zerg army just needs so long to walk around everything, walk down all those choke points, and then go into a defensive position. So Bunny takes the game. Leenock not in Codes just yet. He has another match coming on later when he has to face Rune. That's actually the game after DRG and Maru, which is coming next.
Maru versus DRG. Maru, if he wins, then DRG is out. Yep. So don't forget that, DRG fans, going into this one.
So if Leenock wins against Rune, he's still in Codes. If Maru wins against DRG, DRG is definitely going to fall out. As it is, we could still have a 5-way tie.
Yeah. Entirely possible.
Would be a bit weird. That would mean that DRG now has to win his game against Maru. Leenock would have to lose against Rune, and then later on Maru would have to win against Bunny. That would basically put us into a position where we have a 5-way tie here, which is a little bit unlikely, I think, especially, but well, we have 3 games left, so we're going to find out if we have a tie situation at all, or if we will find out who's going to advance to Codes right after the normal set of games.
Yeah, to be honest, I favor Maru highly going into the next game. DRG has looked really shaky in his last few games, and also in the only game he's won so far, he won with an all-in, and after the all-in, he still looked a little bit shaky, you know. I don't know what's in his mind today. He might be nervous because, you know, there's a lot of pride in this. A lot of his reputation on the line here.
DRG, he's 1-2, and he needs to win this game if he wants to go to Codes. Even if he wins it, he can only rely on a tiebreaker. It's not like he can advance all of the group right away. Maru is in a spot where a win would help him quite a bit, because currently he finds himself 1-1.
Yeah, DRG does not look nervous, though, in the booth. He did just take that one deep breath, but otherwise, he knows he's been in this situation many a time before and came through for his team, come through for himself.
Whirlwind is going to be our next map in this Terran versus Zerg. Dongragu looking very serious here. So does Maru. He lost his last game. He lost against Leenock. Can he win against DRG? Here at the GSL Up and Downs with Colin Wolf.